Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I don't know where you are in the world. So I'm Estelle Oberix. I'm focusing on innovative human-centric innovation, which means that I'm creating solutions depending on real human needs, not on technology. I am an organizer member of AOS and co-founder of ESUG FR, which is the French-spoken Azure user groups, and Cloudacity, which is a non-profit organization dedicated to promote diversity in cloud and AI. With Cloudacity, we want to help people to succeed in their IT certification by providing free coaching to prepare them. And in a diversity mindset, we are helping mainly women, young people who did not have opportunity to study, and people in retraining. You can easily follow me or contact through social networks, Twitter or LinkedIn. And I'm the only one in the world with this first name and last name, so it's really easy to find me. So in this session, we're going I'm going to present you the agenda, but first I must clarify that this session is not at all about Microsoft 365 Business Voice, which is a cloud-based telephony solution in Microsoft Teams. It offers phone system capabilities like call park, call forwarding, auto attends, call queue, audio conferences, and calling plans. So we will begin by a quick introduction covering the advantages of using voice assistants with Teams. Then we will use the main voice assistant in the market and the most popular smart devices. We will resume everything with a comparison of all of that before finishing by some tips to go further after this session if you want. So let's connect just in order to know you a little better. You can scan this QR code or connect to enterprise.klaxon.com with this reference. And I'm going to ask you a few questions during the session. The first question, I'm going to show you directly my Klaxon interface. So as first question, what is your job? So you can, just in order to know if you are more a business person or a technical person. I don't know if I can see. Okay. Specialist, okay. Remote. All right. And second question is, so do you already use a voice assistant with Teams? Okay. That's only one answer. We're going to begin with Teams. Also, Team Voice. So since the pandemic, our working methods have changed profoundly, and we must increasingly multitask in our everyday life. So using a voice assistant can have several advantages. It can help you to save your time. For example, if you ask a question to your assistant and get directly the answer without having to search it, you're going to save the time. So as we used to say, time is money. saving times can make you save money too. That can make your life easier. Regarding a previous example, but it can also also do some task instead of you. For example, if you ask your assistant to connect to a meeting, so you don't have to open the email with the meeting links, nor have to click on it. And I passed the step where you had to open the app, of course. It also can help people with weakness. For example, that will be easier for blind or for blind people or people who are not confident with technology to use Teams because it's more friendly to speak with a computer rather than to type on a keyboard. And those are only few reasons to use voice assistants, and I'm sure that you can have more idea, and I hope that at the end of the session you're going to have more idea and to want to try this kind of solution. So we're going to begin with Alexa. Alexa is Amazon cloud-based service, voice service available on hundreds of millions of devices from Amazon and third-party devices manufacturers. So with Alexa, you can build natural voices experience that offer customers a more intuitive way to interact with the technology they use every day. So we offer a collection. They offer a collection of tools, API, reference solutions, and documentation to make it easier to build it for Alexa. So in order to use Alexa with Microsoft Teams, we are going to have to connect to the Alexa Developer Console. So you first have to keep in mind that the depth of the voice assistant on most platforms was announced for about Cortana. Microsoft announced the death of the voice assistant last summer 2020. And in January 2021, Microsoft ended support for Cortana integration with the Harman Kardon Invoke speaker, and the assistant was retried on mobile since last spring 2021. So Microsoft signed in 2017. Microsoft signed an agreement with Amazon, and they announced they were working to tie the two voices assistant together. So as Microsoft let down Cortana as a voice assistant by example, but we're going to come back on it later. So Amazon keep up on Alexa, but there's some feature who were developed conjointly by Amazon and Microsoft, who was available on Alexa's interface, and there's not anymore available. So we have to adapt ourselves to this fact. So with working with Alexa and Microsoft Teams, so you have two possibilities. The first is to develop a skill through the Alexa Developer Console, and you also can use the Alexa for Business, which is sadly not available in France. I'm based in France, and it's available only in the United States and maybe in India. So if you, like me, want to use Alexa for Business because it's very useful, you will have to connect to your Amazon interface through a VPN connected from United States. Because if you are connected from European IP address, you're going to get an error message from Amazon, and they're going to, in the message, you're going to read that this feature is not available in your geographical zone. So when you're connected in from United States through VPN, you can do pretty much the same things, but sometimes I made this screenshot this morning. You have some problem because the devices that you're connected can lose the connection because you are connected in a cloud in United States, and your devices, if he gets an update during the night or something else, maybe he can lose the connection. So I didn't have time this morning to reinitiate it, but you should have to reconnect, to disconnect, and to reconnect your device to Alexa for Business, just in order to re-implement all features. So, and what is interesting with Alexa for Business, that you can register your Amazon Echo directly in the conferencing equipment skills. Then you can use them, use it to as in a room with all room features, or with also with your Microsoft 365. And as you can see in this screenshot, my Microsoft 365 account is linked to Alexa for Business, and it's allow me to benefit of the advantages of connection direct with my calendar, with my emails, and with a lot of Microsoft 365 features. And if you don't have I'm sorry, if you don't have a Microsoft 365 account, but you've got an Outlook account or an Exchange account, you also can connect your email account to Alexa for Business. So I'm going to show you a presentation. This is a tutorial made by April Denon, which who is a Power Platform MVP. But I cut down the demo, and I'm going to comment it directly because we don't have time to watch everything during this session. So it was, this is an extract from John Levex and April Junan session. It was on, it's available on YouTube, and I put the link just behind the video. And in this video, April is going to explain that in order to connect Alexa with Microsoft Teams, you have first to create an Amazon Dev account. Just in order to create your skills. And she explained for who's never done an Alexa skills. She explained what is an Alexa skill. In this tutorial, you won't have to write any code because you only have to copy and paste some JSON file. So even if you're not a developer, this tutorial is really accessible for everybody. And she has explained some important concept in Alexa. So what is invocation? The invocation is the name of what Alexa can recognize. The intent, this is the action. Utterance map the intent. So if you have to make a filter or to create a precision, a focus on your answer, you're going to create an utterance. The slot, it's optional. It's a way to pass variables from your utterance. And the endpoint is where the flow comes in and where to perform the action in return. And the endpoint is going to be important because it's going to be the link between the Alexa and the flow that she's going to create in Power Automate. So I chose this tutorial because it's a tutorial very accessible for everybody, even if you're not a developer. And it's really well explained, and I'm going to go maybe further in order to go quickly. So she explained in this screenshot, she explains that we're going to create a trigger in the workflow. And then so here she have a look on the planner, because the goal is to create a list of tasks from planner and to go in the Echo show, in the Echo in the Amazon Echo, and she creates the demo with an Echo Dot, only the smart speaker. So in order to create an Alexa skill, you're going to connect to the Alexa developer console. It's pretty simple. Just give a name of your skill. Keep all selected options by default if you're not confident with the other, but you're going. It's okay if you want to play with some templates. And so in this tutorial is the simplest one that you can do. So give a name, keep all selected option, and create your skill. So the invocation name is the name of the skill, so that we're going to see it just after this action. So now she created, and the first step is to validate the invocation name that it watches. So by default, Alexa, the interface is given the name of the skill that you given, but you can change it if you want. So now you have to add an intent. So the intent is that we need to get the task. So for the intent, for the wording of the intent, try to think of the different way to launch the task. So you can add several intents. For example, you can create an intent like list all my tasks, or maybe give me all my tasks, or something like that. So this is a wording. So try to think as much as possible at the simplest intent that you're going, or simplest order that you're going to give to your Amazon Echo. So this is there you can add some utterance, but in this case she's not going to add a lot of utterance. And now we're going to go to the Power Automate interface. So there's a link, and you're going to be able to find them on the YouTube. So this is a link to download the JSON file, and the another one on GitHub if you want to follow them. So I followed this tutorial, and it's really pretty simple. So when you are in the Power Automate, I'm going to go a little faster. Okay. So in Power Automata, you have to create a new flow. So with a new flow, select when HTTP request is received, and then pass the JSON code that you link. So the URL generated is going to be important because that's going to be the endpoint URL for your Alexa skills. So Jeff Holland is a Microsoft employer specialist, so you can trust the JSON file. It's pretty safe. So after putting, we have to select the action that the right action. In our case, it's list my task in Planner. Then we need to put a filter. So this is the action in Planner. Then we will put a filter. You can easily find the filter that she's going to put on GitHub and add the plan ID. So you don't have to invent anything in this tutorial. Just have to copy and paste. So this is a filter. And then she's going to select the information. So this is where you can find the filter in GitHub. And when you go in your planner, you can find the plan ID at the end of the URL like that. So that's what she's she's copying. And then you will be able to paste it just in order to relate the right planner account to this flow. Then you select the filter, and you need to select the information that you're going to give during the answer. So here we take from the body, the title, and the due date. Selecting title and due date, and we need to join all the information. So we're going to select the output. So this is an example of the response. So the body, you can customize it as well as you want. So this example of body's answer is available on April's GitHub. Of course, you can write the semantics that you want. So then you have to copy the URL and go back to Alexa's console. So we click on the URL, and in Alexa, we're going to finish the process and put the endpoint as an HTTPS because it's not a Lambda in this case. There you are. So you have to pay attention after that you make sure that you selected this my development endpoint is a subdomain. It's pretty important because if not, the mapping is not going to be able to be built. So then you build your skill. So in the Alexa Developer Console, you also have an Alexa, an Echo simulator. So if you don't have any eco devices, you can test your skill as well. So that's the end of the demo, because after she's going to show the result. And once again, you'll be able to see the whole video on YouTube. And I'm going to share my slide at the end of the session. So this is the example when she used the simulator. So you can change the language, you can change everything in the simulator, and but it's only with the sound. You don't have I never you don't have the image in the simulator, or maybe I had to find something to install another tools in order to have the display for an eco show, for example. So that was the example. So now we are going to pass to Cortana. Cortana was unveiled in 2014 as a virtual assistant for Windows phones, and it was named after the Advanced Artificial Intelligence Guide in Microsoft's then best-selling Hello game series. So this voice assistant is support for English language work account in the Teams mobile app and Microsoft Teams display to help streamline communication, collaboration, and meeting relating tasks using spoken natural language. So what is strange with Cortana? This is officially Cortana is not anymore a voice assistant. Now it's a life or work assistant. And Microsoft stopped the support of a voice assistant. But you have some feature of Cortana and you still can use it as a voice assistant. So, but you can, for example, it's not installed by default on Windows 11 now, but you still are able to install it from the store, the Microsoft store, and but if you say it, for example, I'm in France, and if I say, "Hey Cortana," the Cortana is going to start on my computer, but I won't have the link with Microsoft Teams, because Cortana is only available. The Cortana voice assistant is only it's currently only supported for English language work accounts. So I don't, even if I'm speaking in English, in French, my account is connected to my geographical zone. So I'm French, so my M365 account is connected to France, not to European or to United States, even if sometimes I'm using a VPN. So despite what we're doing with Amazon, you can't trick the Microsoft administration, because they're related your account to your geographical zone of your account and your accounting. So Cortana Voice is only available for United States, United Kingdom, Canada, India, and Australia. So if you're not in these 5 countries, you are as unlucky as me, and you can't use Cortana as a voice assistant, and that explains why I'm using Alexa and some other solution rather than Cortana. So with Cortana, I'm sorry, maybe I put some. You have some feature, some integrated feature if you are in these 5 countries. So you can ask to call, to request on your calendar, to share your file, to join a meeting, to chat, and to navigate and to parameter your Teams with your voice. So the Cortana with Microsoft Teams is mainly on the mobile apps for iOS and Android, and the Microsoft Teams display for the hub, the Microsoft Hub, for example. So you can use it only if you have some kind of tenant as GCC, GCC-ite, DoD, or Edu tenant. So it's not for all tenant too. And this is an expansion to additional languages and regional, which will happen as part of future release. And the admin customer will be notified through Messages Center and the Microsoft 365 roadmap. So in the mobile app, you can request Cortana directly by voice from your tablet or from your phone. So Cortana Voice Assistant in Teams meetings room. I'm sorry, because it starts on my computer. It's providing unique so you can provide a unique in-room capabilities like one-touch to join, the content cameras to share physical whiteboard into the meeting in an intelligent way, and proximity a feature like seamlessly transferring the room into a Teams meeting from your own personal device. So user can use push to talk, le PTT, by pressing the microphone to initiate Cortana, then saying start my meeting with the keyword spotting the key WS. Enable Cortana will start listening when users say Cortana. So that's pretty easy, but only for 5 countries in the world at present. So for Google, you can with Google you can use Teams with the Google Calendar. It's an extension, an add-in that you can add. This is an example from one Google Workspace that I have with a client. So this is an add-on, and it lets Google Calendar users schedule and join a Microsoft Teams meeting directly from Google Workspace. So users will get access to Teams meetings feature, including video and audio conferencing, the screen sharing meeting chat, the digital whiteboards, and more. And they can stay connected and organized to let more done together across work, school, and life. So the Microsoft Teams meeting add-on from Google Workspace must be enabled by a Teams admin before tenant user and can access. So it also have to be authorized by your Azure admin as an application, an authorized application in your AD or in your Azure Active Directory if you don't have an AD on premise. So you have to be aware of that, because even if you have Google account and you belongs to a company, if the administrator of your company doesn't allow Google in your ID, you won't be able to add the Teams add-on in your Google Workplace. So the procedure, there's the link. I had to cancel, to delete the video that I wanted to show you as a demo, because it was too long. But I let the link to the YouTube demo. It's a tutorial made by Rodolfo Castro, who is Office App and Services MVP. And in his video, he explained how to connect Google Dialogflow, which is the equivalent of Microsoft Power Automate. So how to connect Google Dialogflow with Power Automate, then with Teams. So you can see that this is pretty much the same logic, rather than Amazon that Power Automate is going to be the link between the external technology and Teams. So this is the flow that he created in Power Automate, and the difference from Alexa, you have two choices in this flow, because it's not the same skills that he's developing in his tutorial, and this one is that there's a bot in Teams. Sorry, there's a bot in Teams, and the bot has to check if is if the requester will be able to be free for the meeting or not. So Siri, I don't have very much things to tell to Siri, because I'm not an Apple girl. I'm sorry, but what I know about Siri with Microsoft Teams is that Apple CarPlay enables you to safely make Teams audio calls when you're on the road by using Siri voice commands. However, if you use Microsoft Intune managed iOS devices to make the call, Siri can be blocked from use by your administrator. So if you're unable to use Apple CarPlay in Teams, you have to contact your administrator, because he has to configure the settings by using the Microsoft Endpoint Manager Admin Center. So I don't know how to develop new skills from Siri to Microsoft Teams. Maybe it's possible, but from what I know, it's that you will have to create a mobile app in order to connect to Microsoft Teams. Or maybe that could be possible through Power Apps, but I didn't test it, so I can't say if it's really possible or not. So I have to do it in the future, but currently I did not have any request from my client for that, because my clients are mainly equipped by Android devices or Windows devices. That's why. So as a smart devices, I'm going to go faster, because I just saw the time. As smart devices, Amazon, Alexa, Google are the mass market voice assistant of choice. So that's why I'm going to speak only on smart devices from Amazon and Google. So Amazon, you have the smart speakers and the Amazon Echo as smart speakers with screens. And in Google, you have the Nest Audio and Nest MIDI as smart speaker, and the Nest Hub, the second generation, and Nest Hub Max as with a screen. So there's something you have to know, that there's only the Nest Hub Max who allow you to create some customized features, because Google enabled a smart device management SDM API, and there's an ecosystem, and you can create your own application for the Nest Hub apps. And even if the Nest Hub has a camera, you won't be able to use it to stream to use this camera as a stream camera for Teams meetings, but it's possible with the Nest Hub Max. So the comparison between the this first voice assistant is First line is for the integration with Alexa. You need to have an Amazon developer and to use Power Automate. With Cortana is native integration because it's Microsoft to Microsoft. With Google, you need you can connect through Google Workspace and or with the smart device management, or with Dialogflow and Power Automate and Siri. Currently, there's some shortcuts on iOS for Cortana, so you can use them in mobile app and Apple CarPlay. But I don't know for the other things. In the second line, this is a smart device, so Alexa and Google are affordable smart device. Microsoft shut down the commercialization of its smart speaker, or maybe it's still selling in United States, but I never saw it in Europe. So there's no smart device for Microsoft in my mind, but you have integrated features and you can use Power Apps and the web apps. And for iOS, you also can use some web apps with React.js, for example. The development difficulties or level for Alexa and Google, it's pretty easy or medium. It's not really difficult. For Cortana, I think that this is easy because it's integrated and it is Microsoft compliant. And I have no idea for Siri because I never developed this kind of system. The possibilities are infinite in each cases, and the cost is pretty affordable for Alexa and Google. And for Cortana, it could be free because sometimes these are features integrated, native integration, or affordable because this is the cost of the Power Automate. And for Alexa and Google, it's also cost for Power Automate. So to go further, I give you some link to from some tutorials. This is connecting your Alexa skills, how to connect a bot to Alexa, how to build a Microsoft Teams presence bot for Amazon Alexa via the bot framework. So this third tutorial is more for developers because it's only on the other side. So never forget that in Microsoft, if you're not a developer, if you have a citizen developer, you can use the Power Platform. Either if you are a developer, you have the choice by using the Power Platform or using the Azure tools for developers like Azure Bot, Azure Bot AI, or the API management, and so on. And the fourth tutorial is the one that I didn't have time to show you during this session about how to connect Google Home with Teams. And this is the architecture with Power Automate between. And generally, you can see you can see that to connect Teams with external device or external technology, generally it's going to be through an HTTP trigger and a flow in Power Automate. So if you have any question, I'm sorry I had to be quick at the end, but I just saw the time. And do not hesitate if you have any question, have a look on the chat, or if you have some question or if you need some advice after, and do not hesitate to contact me.